Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Rainbow highs to everybody. Good morning. कैसे हैं आप सब? Did you all practice storytelling yesterday? सबने किया? Yes. आज का संडे वाला सेशन इज गोइंग टू बी सुपर एक्साइटिंग. आज हम लोग बहुत कुछ नया सीखने वाले हैं. बट क्विकली टाइप वाई. कितने लोगों ने स्टोरी शेयर किया? आई हैव सीन 5 स्टोरीज. ओके, I saw 5 stories on Facebook community and we will show them to you guys. But आप लोगों ने कितने स्टोरीज अपने घर पे शेयर किया? How many of you shared stories with your parents? 1 minute only we had to say. 1 minute we can talk. Yes, quickly type Y. Oh my god, I can see so many Ys. How lovely. Very nice. So what do you think we are going to learn today? आज हम लोग क्या करने वाले? What do you think? Did you think every day we know? No, today we will learn clay craft. Today we will do tissue paper art. What do you think we will learn today? No? You don't know? बताओ. We don't know. Okay. All stories, summer, all learn. Okay. Honeybee. We will learn about honeybee today. Interesting. Stories, singing, reading stories. Okay. We'll learn more storytelling. Tons of stories. Okay. Yes, today is also storytelling workshop. So we have 4 days, okay? So you know what? Today was going to be the last day of this kids summer camp. But we thought that we will do some more days. So we have also extended it to 27, 28 and 29. So 27 we have yoga, 28 and 29 we have yoga and we have storytelling workshop. Emotion tools of stories. Very nice. We have such sincere kids here for the summer camp. Lovely. So let's invite Sudarshan sir. And then we will understand from Sudarshan sir what stories are we going to learn today or what kinds of tools and techniques are we going to learn today. Okay. Welcome Sudarshan sir. Hello. Oh, sir does this.
Welcome. मैं खुद को ही welcome बोल रहा हूँ. I'm saying welcome as I come here.
You're welcoming all the kids. No? Welcome kids.
बिल्कुल. Welcome to everybody. और मैंने खुद को भी welcome बोल दिया. You know, in Tiny Mike's story, there was this child, Ishita, who used to come and speak. And every time she would speak after her story, she would start clapping for herself before anybody else clapped. And I liked that so much that you need to be your biggest cheerleader. No, so you start clapping for yourself. When you enter, you only say, welcome to myself for being here. So everybody, for everyone who's there, just say welcome to yourself as you are joining this session. And it is so nice to be here again from yesterday. We've got a couple of people who've sent a story. Not a couple, we've got 5 people who've sent a story, and we're going to play a few of them as well in the chat. Everybody. Oh, by the way, you don't need to call me sir, okay? You can call me Sudarshan. That's okay. So for those of you who wonder, you can just call me Sudarshan. Everybody calls me Sudarshan. Even the kids call me Sudarshan. So you can call me that. No problem. The one request that I have is, if you are sitting by yourself, take your computer or take your phone or take your tablet and go and sit next to your parents. At least one parent. If your mother is cooking in the kitchen, go and sit next to her. If your father is doing some work, no problem. Just sit next to them so that they can also listen to what we are saying. Because telling a story, you can't just tell a story to yourself. No, you have to tell a story to somebody else, and somebody else has to listen. And your parents also will learn from doing this activity. So with that said, first, let's just review what we did yesterday. Yesterday, we started with how storytelling is like an incredible way to observe details in everyday life. It's an incredible way to start understanding different emotions that we are feeling. So the act of storytelling helps you find beauty in everyday life. The act of storytelling helps you better understand different emotions that you're feeling, because telling a story involves you to look at what happened and what did I feel about what happened. And stories, of course, can be fictional. You can make up a story, but there is one thing that you are all an expert on. More than anyone else in the world, you are an expert on your own life. So when you talk about a topic you are an expert on, you are the only one who can tell that story. So when you're talking about something that happened in your life, it's only you who can tell that story. And that's why that story is great. So that's what we did yesterday. We did a nice little river and we thought of what happened in the last 2 weeks, all the different stories that might have emerged from that. And then I asked all of you to tell me a story. We had 3 kids. We had yesterday, do you remember? We had 3 kids who shared stories as well. Similarly, we'll have 4 different kids who are going to help us tell the stories, learn the tools that we're going to do, and then I would love to have all of you share a story as well, first with your parents and then record it, send it on the group. With that said, once again in the chat, everybody tell me, yesterday, did you tell a story to someone? It could be recorded, not recorded, to your parent or to a friend or to your sibling or to other people in your society. Did you tell a story? In the chat, if yes, type S for story. S for story. Type S for story if you told a story yesterday, and if you didn't, we still have today. Okay, so I see a few of you are yes. I'm seeing some yes, some S. Yes, 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 yes. I see S, 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 S. Multiple S, S. Yes to you told it to your mom. Okay, multiple, 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 multiple. Great. Okay, a lot of you told. Very nice. So we've got a few of them that we received on the Facebook group, and we're going to play that. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see a couple of them? Let's go.
Morning, I woke up at 5:30 and got ready by 6 o'clock. Then I asked my father, "Are we ready to go to the park?" He said yes, and we went to pick my cousin sister. When we reached the park, my sister asked my father, "Shall we go near the swings?" And we went to the swings. I asked my sister, "Shall I go first on the swings?" She said, "Yes, you may go." We played many games there. My sister didn't know how to skip. I taught her a bit, but then she said, "I don't want to do it. It's so difficult." I encouraged her, and in no time she learned to skip. I enjoyed today very much. Today morning, I woke up at 5:30 and got ready by 6 o'clock. Then I asked my
Okay, it's looping now. Let's go to the next story.
I am in class 3 and I study in Cambridge School. Once upon a time, we went there, Mommy, Daddy and I, we went to the biggest river, Ganga. And then it was so fun that I didn't want to go to eat. So then I played there for a while and then Mommy said it's time to come, and then I said no. And then she grabbed my hand and gone. And then next we went to the restaurant. It took 1 hour that I was so hungry that I ate all of it, all the restaurant food. And then he brought a drink. And then I drank the full drink. And then we gone home. And it was evening. And it was also 10 o'clock that I was so sleepy that I went to sleep. The end.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, let's play this one as well.
Today I am going to share my tiny Mike story of the summer camp of Habuild. So there was the tissue paper art activity and everybody else did good, as I saw in the 40-second recap. But mine and my little brothers turned out to be a complete disaster. I tried my best to make it, but I just did like most of the steps myself. So each time I was trying to do, I was just messing the floor up. And My little brother did not know how to do, so he observed me and he made an even bigger pile of mess. And at the end, I felt disappointed, and my grandma and me had to clean the mess. Hello everyone. Today I'm
Okay, super. So I know some other people probably made stories but didn't really record them, or probably told stories, recorded them but didn't really send them. It's all a practice. Telling a story is a practice. Telling a story is a way for us to develop a lot of other skills. Some of you play guitar, some of you play piano, some of you play different instruments. Now, every time you play an instrument, do you expect yourself to make amazing songs? Not necessary, right? Sometimes you just start with sa re ga ma pa, do re mi fa so, and then slowly you start learning chords or you start learning different songs. So telling a story is also like that. First you just have to start, and then once you start, you'll start learning all different ways to make your stories more interesting. You'll start learning ways to find stories that are interesting that people want to listen to. You'll start finding ways to tell your stories in a way that a lot of people want to listen to. You'll start finding ways to tell stories so that people actually start laughing when you want them to. All of these are skills. A skill is basically something that you keep doing again and again and again and keep getting better at. So, telling a story, learning how to be confident is also a skill. When I was a kid, I used to think there are some kids who are confident, and I was somebody who was not confident. And I used to think because I wasn't born confident, that's how I would be. In fact, when I was in seventh grade, I remember I was asked to go into an interclass singing competition. And then this was Gulati Hall in St. Vincent's High School. And I was invited on stage. I was said, okay, Sudarshan, please come to the stage. And I walked to the mic on stage as 500 kids stood in front of me. And I looked at them, they looked at me. So I looked at my feet and I forgot what I had to say. And as I forgot, everybody started laughing. And as they started laughing, I started crying on stage and I left. And I told my teacher then, Gaikwad sir, I'm never going on stage again. And he said, why not? I said, didn't you see? I went on stage and people laughed at me and I felt so bad. And I don't want to ever do this again. And Gaikwad sir, in all of his wisdom, said, Sudarshan, shouldn't you go on stage till the time you get over this? This is just a skill. And the more you go on stage, the more you will realize that this is also something you can learn. Now, I didn't realize it at that time, but what he had said was actually very true. The way to get better at any skill in the world is to just do it again and again and again and again. So if you sometimes feel a little scared if there's a lot of people, it's a learnable skill. You just go on stage once, you'll feel a little scared. You go second time, you'll feel a little scared. You go third time, you'll feel a little scared. And over time, that feeling will also become normal for you. And as it becomes normal, you will realize that, oh, this is also fun. If you want to learn how to make people laugh, maybe you tell a joke and people don't laugh. Maybe second time you tell a joke, again people don't laugh. Even that is a skill. You know, in the chat, sometimes somebody writes a funny comment and everybody laughs. The other time, somebody writes a comment, nobody laughs. But that's also a skill. Making people laugh is also a skill which you can develop. So all of these things are skills. And the basic thing that you have to do is tell a story every day. Saurav says in Habuild, yoga every day. Whatever happens, do yoga every day. I say, tell a story every day. Tell a story about your own life, about things you see, things you feel. Tell a story to someone, whether it is to a parent, to a sibling, to a neighbor, to some cat that you find on the street. But tell a story to someone. Okay. Now, we've got two other people who have done that. We got 5 stories in total. We saw 3. I want you to look at these 2 stories also. Could we have the other 2 stories being shown? Do we have them? Vakanti? Yes.
I'm gonna tell my one time story. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Rohan. He had a sibling named Adya. They both argued a lot. One day, Rohan beat Adya. Adya called her mother and told Mama, Rohan is beating me. So Then her mother told Rohan, don't beat her. Then mother told that Adya, if next time Rohan beats, you should tell me, okay? Then next day Rohan bet Adya again. Then Adya called her mother and told, you told me that day that when again Rohan will beat me, I should call you. So now Rohan is beating me again. So the her mother told that when I told I don't remember anything. Then Adya told, oh mummy, you will forget everything. This was my one time story. Bye. Thank you. Hello everyone.
Hello, I am Veerav. I study in class 4. My school is Cambridge School, Noida. Today I am going to tell you a story about my trip to Uttarakhand. Once I went to a boys' trip with my mama, father, brother, and me. So over there, we lived in a village. Inside that village was a small homestay. In that, there was a dog in that homestay that, and its name was Soldier. Soldier also had an owner named Pavan. He was he was 20 years old, and I became friends with him. The next day, me and my brother went to the lake, went to a river, and sat there and talked about some things. And then I called my friend and I told my brother to be friends with Pavan. So then we were very good friends, and one one night, my friend, and my brother went to for a night trip. We had lots of fun. I I love my trip to Uttarakhand. Okay.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Let me tell you guys a story, okay? In college, I used to dance. I used to be in a street dancing crew. And with me was this young kid who used to also dance. Now he wasn't that good initially. He was good, but he could never follow the choreography. He would always try and do their own thing. And I used to be like, "Arey, like ye kya kar raha hai? Why is he doing that? Why can't he just follow the choreography?" And in fact, no matter how much other kids started laughing at him, he would always keep doing this. He would always keep doing his own thing. And eventually, what happened was, because he didn't care so much about what other people were doing, he ended up becoming a really good dancer. So there was Dance Maharashtra Dance, in which he came third. There was Dance India Dance, in which he was in the top three. Then he became a very famous actor. He actually played Krishna in a very famous serial. And now he's like in movies and other things. So you might actually know him. So I won't tell you the name. Maybe you could guess. He played Krishna in a very popular serial, and then he became a big actor. Like he's now coming in movies and stuff. But everyone, I want you to think of this. No matter what you're going to start doing, the initial few steps are never very nice. The initial few steps are where you're not telling a good story, you're not dancing a nice dance, you're not playing very good instrument. And then there'll be many people who'll be like, "Arey, this is so bad, this is not," and they'll make fun of you. Eventually, the people who make fun of you will just keep making fun. But if you keep doing it again and again and again and again, you will keep getting better. So, one of the amazing things about this is, as long as you do something again and again, you will get better no matter what. So, the practice is the practice of doing something again and again regularly, whether it is yoga, whether it is music, whether it is dancing, whether it is storytelling, and also to not worry so much about being perfect. So, everyone who shared a story, I'm going to give you a big round of applause because you sent stories. For everyone else, send a story. If you think it's not perfect, doesn't matter, just send a story. And eventually what you will see is you will get better in every aspect of storytelling. We actually have two kids today. We've got two videos of kids who initially started just like this, who literally couldn't go in front of people and look up in their eyes. They would look down. But later on, they got much better. Today, what we are going to learn is a tool called emotion wheel. And this emotion wheel helps you find stories that make people feel something, think something. So, what I want everyone to do is to pay attention to the two stories that we're going to play and think of, oh, is this story making me feel some kind of way? Is there an emotion that I'm feeling? And if yes, what is the emotion? Okay. So, we're going to play two stories, and I want you to focus on what emotion are these stories making me feel.
Job card in Bangalore. I'm like, why so far? I hope this gets selected. I hope he doesn't get selected. Later, I got to know he was selected. Now who will play this pillow fights with me? Okay, let him go. At least mommy is there. And then my mom told me that even she is going because she also got a job there. Now who will buy me that box of lassi? I was like, at least mommy is there. My mom told me that even she is going. Wait, why is she going? She didn't get a job there. She didn't. But then she'll get alone and bored. No, she won't. She can shift to our house. She can, but generally moms live with their sons. Why sons? Why not daughters? Prisha, I don't have an answer for your every why. The phone bell used to ring. She used to talk to my mama, and my mom used to be like, you should go, a great opportunity for your career. And after giving the phone, she used to cry. What is going on? You just told him that you should go, and now you're crying? She told me there's always something positive or negative about whatever you do, and you should look at the positive side.
Okay, and we've got one more story.
She scratched me. It's a dog! I asked my mother, can I have it? No, it's somebody else. I used to call her Sofu. I used to wait, where is Sophie coming? When is Sophie coming? We both started getting older and older. She was bigger than me. She was 13 and I am 7. I was coming from school. My sister read a message from my mom's mobile. Sophie, no more. I felt a million times, infinite times sad. Then I remembered all the memories. One time I took her to a shop. I put a lot of options. She didn't bark. Then the next one, she didn't bark. The next one, she didn't bark. The last one, she barked on it. I bought it for her. I went to their house and I saw that toy and then I started crying there. We were such a good friend, like B and the millions of F. My mother told me that Sophie's still there with us. You can look at the stars every day and write her a note. Then we saw the brightest star and then I remembered her face was the brightest face and then I wrote a letter to her also.
Okay, so we heard two stories here. The first one was Prisha saying that her mama moved to a different city. And then how that was making her feel, how that was making her mother feel. Such a nice, relatable story. I'm sure every one of you have had a relative or a close one or a close friend who's moved to a different place. And that story made you feel something, yes? Similarly, in the next one, Advaita was talking about Sophie, like the dog, and how her passing away made her feel really sad. I'm sure some of you love pets and are really attached to them. And you could really connect with what Advaita was feeling. So the amazing thing about stories is that I can say something from my life, but it's going to make you feel something about your life. So even for all the adults listening, the power of stories being told to a child or the power of stories being asked to told from a child is the fact that you get to look back at your life and then you get to make people look back at their own. And what an incredible skill is that. So one way that you can come up with stories was what we did yesterday, the river. You think of every single story from, let's say, the last week, last 2 weeks, last 1 month, As long as you've been alive, you think of different stories at different times. Another tool that you can use is something that I call an emotion wheel. And the way to do this is very simple. By the way, all of you can even make this emotion wheel at home. And what this is very simple. What you have to ask yourself is, when did I feel any of these emotions? Now, as you grow up, what you will realize is even these emotions have multiple emotions within them. When I was a kid, I used to think red, yellow, green, blue are the only colors. And then somebody came and said, Arey, there's also teal. And I was like, you're joking. There's no color like teal. And then he showed me there was a color like teal. Then somebody said there was ochre. I was like, what is this? I'm starting to realize there are more colors. And when I started understanding that there is more colors, my vocabulary of colors increased. And I started identifying different colors in life also. The same thing happens with emotions. Initially, you will just say, oh, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm surprised, I'm shocked. And the more you grow up and the more you start focusing on what that emotion is, you will start seeing, oh, there are different emotions. There's also embarrassment. There's also surprise, but then there is confusion. There's worry. All of those different emotions exist. And the more you kind of start telling stories about them, the more those emotions will become more describable for you. As in, you will be able to identify them. So, what everyone can do is you can take a screenshot right now and make this by yourself at home. And every time you're thinking, oh, what story could I say? What story could I tell? Just ask yourself, when did I feel any of these emotions? So you could do this with your family at home, okay? You could just say, okay, today we're going to do when did I feel happy or when did I feel bored? And then everybody, your father, your mother, your grandmom, your dog, everybody has to share a story about that. And the interesting thing is, the more intense the emotion, the better the story. So if you felt sad, that's a story. But if you felt so sad that you were like crying from the inside, then that's a very good story. So Advita found the story of Sophie because I asked her, when did you feel extremely sad? And then she thought of that. So that is the emotion wheel, and that is what helps you come up with different stories also. Today, we have 4 kids who are going to tell stories also. And then we'll see if we have time, if we can play this emotion wheel activity with them. Okay. Now, everyone, before I invite the kids, I want all of you to really think of, when do I feel a certain emotion in a lot of intensity? Okay. So back in team, we are going to invite the kids first and then we'll play the YouTube video. I want everyone to think of, when did I feel extremely happy? When did I feel extremely sad? When did I feel extremely surprised? And you will start seeing that stories from your life start popping up in your head. Okay. For now, everybody, please help me in welcoming 4 kids who are going to join us. Could we have the kids on stage? Everybody say hello to Sridhya, to Aeva, to Aman, and to Raghava. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome, welcome, kids. Now, here's what we're going to do. You have all come up with different stories over multiple days. Every time I ask you to come up with a story, you come up with different kinds of stories. What happens is, when you come up with a story, it also helps me think of stories from my life. So what we are going to do is, 1 minute at a time, everybody here will share a story. Then everybody listening will share a story with their parents. So now this story they might have thought of because they thought of the river of stories. They might have thought of because they looked at the emotion wheel and thought of a story based on that, or it could be anything else. So is everyone ready? Give me a thumbs up if yes. Even in the chat and at home, you could just show me. I don't see you, but I will visualize that there are 100 thumbs up from all over India and all over the world coming up to me. Okay, great. First, I'll tell a story and then we'll go around and all of you will tell a story too. My time to tell a 1 minute story about a strong emotion was starts. I'm thinking of a story. Wait, 3, 2, 1, go. The other day, I laughed uncontrollably because I saw something that reminded me of how boys and girls are so different. On the way to the office, there's like a huge mango tree, and a lot of mangoes had fallen down because it rained incessantly the past few days. And all of those mangoes fell down, and it was like all khichdi everywhere. Now, some boys from the society started taking those mangoes and started putting it on everyone's faces. Okay, they started putting it on everyone's, like all the other kids' shirts and backs and heads and neck and face. And when I told this story to some kids at Tiny Mike Story, I saw all the boys were like, "Yes, this is like the best thing ever. This sounds so fun." And then when I looked at the girl, some of them were like, "Why? Why would you do that?" And I realized that an activity like this is something that boys love, and somehow girls find like I don't see the point. So that's my Tiny Mike story. Okay, so that's my story, and we'll go around and we'll have all of you share a story. We'll have, let's say, let's do Raghav first, then we have Aiza, then Sridiya, and then Aman. Okay, so Raghav, are you ready for your story? Your time starts in 3 and 2 and 1 and go.
Yesterday, when I sat down for breakfast, expecting my usual white fluffy idli, but I saw something odd on my plate. It looked like idli, smelled like idli, but the color was totally different. So I called my mom and asked, "Mom, did the idli go to a beach vacation and came back with its skin tan?" And also I asked, "Mom, did you add pepper to it?" My brother jumped into and asked, "Did you maybe pour choco powder to it?" My dad sneaked peek into and came and asked, "Did you add coffee powder to it?" And we all bursted laughing. And it was like we were solving the mystery of the idli. Then my mother said, "No mystery. It's made up of millet. It's called millet idli. You taste it, you'll definitely like it." And that's my take.
Okay, wonderful. Well done, well done. Let's give Raghav a round of applause. Everybody, give him a round of applause. Aiza, Aman. Yes, Aman with one hand, you can give a round of applause. Don't move the other hand too much. And everyone back home also do this. Okay, great. Up next is Aiza, and then Sridiya, and then Aman. Okay, Aiza, ready? In 3 and 2 and 1. Here we go.
How many of you done makeup? Say me in the chat.
How many of you
Okay,
done
so
makeup? Uh-huh.
once me and my mom were going somewhere. My mom wanted to put light makeup on me. She told me that she'll come in 2 minutes. I thought that it might be fun to put makeup on myself. I took the makeup brush and the makeup palette and started doing makeup on myself. The final outcome was ready. I waited for my mom. She came and laughed and said, "Arey Aiza ji, you look like a clown." And that's my tiny Mike story. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Well done, Aiza. Let's give Aiza a round of applause. Okay, super. Sridiya, you're up next. Ready? Your time starts in 3 and 2 and 1. Go.
Have you ever played a game without an instruction pamphlet? That's my story. So, one day I went to this arcade that there was this prize section, and my eyes got stuck on that Monopoly game because it was the deal cards in the new edition, and I played hard and finally got it. Then I got home, opened the card game, and suddenly got confused. Where is the instruction pamphlet? It wasn't there. Then I said, "Cool down, no problem, we can watch YouTube." And we watched YouTube. Then many vloggers did it, but we couldn't understand anything. And we went to the nearby play zone. There an auntie taught us that game. It was a very interesting game, and we played for 2 hours. And it was the best game ever, but time flew really quickly. And that's my 10 minute story.
Okay, well done. Everybody give Sridhya a round of applause. Yes, 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 yes. Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done. Eyes, eyes, eyes. Yes, great. Okay, what is this, Aman? Okay, great. Okay, so Aman, you're up next in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Have you ever tricked your grandfather? I'll tell you how I did it. So, a few days ago, my grandfather used to always trick me. So, yesterday, I thought to have the perfect idea of tricking him by hiding the remote. Before I went for milk, I hid the remote in my pocket and he looked around the entire house 10 times before he asked me where's the remote. I said, no. Next, he asked me again after 2 minutes. I still said, I don't know. Then I switched the TV on from my pocket. He asked me how. I said, I don't know. And finally, I told him, Dadaji, the remote is in my pocket. And that's my dynamite story.
Okay, okay, well done, well done. Super. Okay, so that's everyone. Hey, everyone give Aman a round of applause. Sridhya and Raghav as well. Okay, great. Now, let me get to know a little bit about all of you so that everyone listening in also gets to know which city are you from. Raghav, which city are you joining in from?
I am from Chennai, Tamil Nadu.
You're from Chennai. Everybody listening in, type in the chat which city you're joining in from also. So in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And do you have any siblings, Raghav?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you like your sibling or sometimes?
Sometimes I feel irritated by him when he doesn't listen to me or he fights with me, but I like.
Otherwise, you like him. Okay. But then why do you trouble him so much?
Huh?
Why do you trouble him so much? You trouble your brother too much, no?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't expect you to agree to it. Okay. Why do you trouble him?
Because he troubles me, so I should do it to him.
Okay. Okay. For everyone listening in, siblings and troubling siblings and things that happen with your siblings are usually very good story material. Okay. So okay, great. Aman, do you have a sibling as well? Yeah, you have to unmute. Otherwise, how will I hear you, Aman? You're all the way in Mumbai. I am here in Pune. This backing team is in
I have
Nagpur.
I have 5 cousins.
You've got 5 cousins, but and you like playing sport, yes?
Cricket.
I like playing cricket. Tell me this: were you always amazing at cricket, or did you get better over time?
Got better over time.
And the first time you went to play cricket, did you immediately fall in love, or did you didn't like it initially and then started liking it?
Before I went to training, I was in love with cricket.
Oh, even before? Why? Why? Do you have a favorite cricketer that you used to
I
watch?
was learning with my father before I went for training.
Oh, you were learning with your father at home, is it?
Hmm.
Ah, that's why all the mirrors behind you are broken, I see. Right? You were playing at home cricket and that's why the mirrors are broken, no?
They are not mirrors, they are glass.
But are they broken? Not broken. Did you break any glass when you were playing cricket at home? Oh,
No,
no.
volleyball are allowed in home. Only smiley and tennis ball allowed.
Okay, only tennis ball and smiley. So you don't. Okay, tell me this. Who is your favorite cricketer?
Jasprit Bumrah.
Jasprit Bumrah. Oh, very nice. I would have expected some batsmen to come, but Jasprit Bumrah is also one of my favorites. For everyone listening in the comments, type which one is your favorite cricketer, and we'll see which cricketer gets the most mentions. Okay, which cricketer is your favorite? Okay, great. Eyes up. You are joining in from and Aman, you're joining in from which city?
Mumbai.
Mumbai. Oh, okay. That's why you're supporting CSK. I see.
No, I'm supporting CSK because if CSK defeat GT and RCB lose and MI win, then MI goes second on the table.
Oh, that's why you're very strategic with your support. Okay, and Raghav's happy you're supporting. Okay, great. Aiza, tell me this: Where are you joining in from?
I'm joining from Pune.
Pune. Pune is getting a lot of rains right now. Yes.
Yes.
So
Lot.
do you like the rains or not like the rains?
I don't like it. Because every time whenever I come from a rain, my mom tells, quickly take a bath. And I'm like, मुझे बात नहीं लेना, कुछ खाने के लिए दे दो ना.
Okay. And you play a lot of sports also. I know you go swimming. Yes.
Yes.
And do you like swimming?
Yes.
What's the most fun thing
Yes.
about?
In our sir, every time after class, sir gives us 5 minutes to play. But sometimes we always like play for a lots and lots of times.
Okay, okay. And then do you like your teacher? Do you like your sir? Is he good? Do you like other people in your swimming academy? What has your experience
I
been
got
like?
also friends who have the same swimming costume as me, and
Oh, okay.
girls also.
Ah, so okay, same swimming costume. You go in the same pool. People don't get confused sometimes. Has it ever happened that you ended up going to the wrong house because the wrong parent picked up the wrong child and went home?
No, uh,
No, no, it hasn't happened yet.
no.
Okay,
Because we have different caps.
you have different
They
caps.
are able to recognize. Okay, this is my child's. Okay, this
Okay,
is my child.
okay, okay, got it. And Sridiya, what about you? Which city are you joining in from?
I'm joining from Karur, Tamil Nadu.
From Karur, okay. And tell me this, I've not been to Karur. What is the most fun thing that you could do in Karur?
Sorry?
What is
Can
the
you
most
repeat?
fun thing? What's the most fun thing that we could do in Karur?
Uh, there are. You can have some. Like, there are more sports like tennis and all. And there are more shops there, but not much hotels
Hmm.
and not much play areas. And
Okay,
it's good for home
uh,
textiles.
I also heard your mum prompting the answers from behind. So tell me this, Sridiya, what is something that your mom said that you have a different opinion on?
Uh, I can't hear you. Your voice is not clear.
What is something that your mom does not like but you like?
My mom doesn't like me eating ice cream, but I like it.
Okay, okay. Great. Could you mute yourself? I don't know if it is at my end, the voice, or yours. Could you mute yourself, please?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't know if my voice is better now. Back in team, is this better? Yeah, I think now it should be better. Yes. Okay, great. So for everyone listening in, for all the kids and parents listening, the reason we are also doing this is because you will see a part of storytelling, a part of conversation is to also be able to be spontaneous. When you see the Tiny Mike Story kids, you will see that they talk very naturally, and that's what we want. We want to be able to talk as if you're talking to two friends. Even when you're on stage, you should be able to talk. That seems very natural. And the way to do that is to make storytelling fun, is to make telling a story sound like something that we do every day. Conversational storytelling is the most interesting, is the most natural, and that's what we're doing. And for everyone who's thinking of where can I find stories, there are stories all over you, all around you, and you could use the emotion wheel to come up with different stories also. In fact, I am going to play a video. By the way, this is a part of our storytelling course, and you can see more on tinymikestory.com. But you could look at this video and see what the kids are saying about where stories come from. Okay, back in team, can we play the YouTube, please?
Something you have really strong feelings for. Interesting stories can be found in strong emotions, from happy emotions, from sad emotions, any emotion.
You actually learn to feel what happened and write down your feelings. That always can be a good story.
When my brother was trapped in our house, it was a strong emotion. What to do? What will happen to my brother? Will he come back?
will the door will be opened.
I went to the master bedroom door. Advai, are you there in? Mom, Advai is locked inside the room when he is alone.
I really hate shopping. I really hate shopping. I feel angry when I even talk about shopping. I spoke about my brother.
The day when my brother was born.
I was really happy at that time. I was energetic because I was speaking about him because I like him a lot. If you have to think of stories, then think of something what you feel strong emotions about.
This particular story, how do you say goodbye? I've had to say goodbye to my old school, my old friends, and my old teachers. It came actually from my feelings as I had just shifted and I wanted to tell people what I felt.
So I felt when I was on the stage and I was talking, like I was saying Sophie. She didn't scratch anyone's legs, she scratched me. It's a dog! My sister read a message from my mom's mobile, Sophie, no more. I felt a million times, infinite times sad. So I was feeling a lot, like I was crying. Means I'm not crying, but I was feeling very sad from my heart. Very sad, Very.
It's actually difficult to make up your mind to give out such a big thing about your own life in front of an audience.
It's very easy to talk about roller coasters because it's very fun. It's like a very happy environment. But then when she talked about Sophie, it would have been hard for her. But then she still let it out of her heart and made everyone know that happened and I'm feeling very sad. So then she let her heart out, she let her emotions out so that
After you're done with it, you feel like a big weight has gone off your shoulder.
you are sad and you shared your feelings with everybody, then you felt better, right?
Yes.
So why did you feel better?
I was feeling better after the story as I had finally conveyed my actual feelings, what happened during that time to someone. Even though it's happy or sad, you can always share your feelings with anyone. And an open mic is the best way to do that.
Okay, so everyone, stories that come from your emotions are amazing because they help you also make sense of that emotion. So when you tell a story about when you were happy, you start feeling happier. When you tell a story about when something was difficult and you were sad, you start finding ways to deal with that sadness. So for all the parents listening, for all the adults listening as well, this is just as applicable to you as it is for kids, because everyone has been a child. No, is there anyone here who's not been a child ever, who just directly ended up being 30 years of age or 40 years of age? Everyone's been a child. So that child exists inside of you, and that child wants to be able to convey feelings that they're feeling and make sense of them. And the ability to tell a story, the ability to tell a what I call a tiny mic story, that is a 1 minute story about your life, is the first step towards it. And then you take the first step and then you can keep doing it again and again. Now, the emotion wheel really helps you give some kind of scaffolding or structure for this. So what I want everyone to do here, Sridhya, Aman, Raghav and Aiza, by the way, everyone listening in, the kids don't know the questions I'm going to ask, okay? So whatever they say is on the spot. I want you to pick a emotion and we'll see if we can come up with a story about the same. So out of all of this, anyone can just unmute yourself and just tell me an emotion. And people at home, you could type in the chat, what emotion would you like? When did I feel what emotion?
Confused.
When did I feel confused? Okay, that's a tricky one. Yes. So here's what I want everyone to Okay, here's what I want everyone to think of. I want everyone to think of, when was a time you were extremely confused, not a little bit confused, but like completely confused. Okay, that you were like, "Arey, what's happening?" And I want you to think of that. At home also, think of when you were completely confused and you didn't know what to do. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the kids to tell me some stories, and then you will tell the story to your parent or somebody else. Okay, so we'll have 1 minute for you as well. Okay, so is there anyone? Raghav, Sridiya, Aiza, Aman, are you thinking of something? When were you extremely confused? Like, when were you confused? Okay, Aman thought of something. Yes, Aman, tell me. Okay, 1 minute for you to tell your story. Okay, your time starts in 3 and 2 and 1.
I was really confused when I was seeing TV last night. Suddenly, all the lights, the fans, the AC was on, but everything was on, but the TV just switched off in middle. I was so confused, and then both the remotes for that TV were in my hand, so no one else could have switched it off, and there was no one close to the switch where you have to switch the TV off, even when it switched off. So it was, I got so confused. I didn't even know what happened. There was like something happened. I was so confused. I ran around the hall twice, still not on. I ran around the hall 10 times, still not on. I ran around the house 10 times, still not on. Finally, after I ran my entire house 30 times, it got on. So that's a total of 10, more than 30 minutes.
Okay, so that's your story. I have a story as well, and then Aiza, you could. I just got reminded of a story, and then Aiza, you could share yours. So here's the time that I was confused. Okay, here's my tiny mic story. My time starts in 3, 2, and 1. One of my first memories of school is when I was, I think, in senior KG, and somebody had dropped me to the school, and I sat in the class that I was in, and I looked up, and on the board the teacher was writing something that I didn't understand, and she was saying, "Oh, you remember this from yesterday?" I was like, "I don't remember it from yesterday." I was quite confused. Then the teacher turned around, and I was like, "This is not even the teacher that I knew." So I was even more confused. Are, who's this teacher? I don't recognize her. And then I realized, oh, the person next to me and the person on the other next to me and the person in front of me and the person behind me are all kids that I don't recognize. So then I was super confused. What sort of a matrix simulation am I in where I don't recognize the topic being taught? I don't recognize the teacher teaching. I don't recognize my neighbor. I don't recognize my other neighbor. I don't recognize anyone. And then the bell rang and I went out of the school. And then I realized I had just entered and sat an entire day in a different classroom, not my own.
Yeah.
So that's my tiny bike story. Okay, so that's my minute. I see Aiza, you had your hand up. You thought of a story, yes? Okay.
Yes.
3 and 2 and 1, go.
In my school, in second to first to fourth grade, we have only surprise tests. Once, when I was in second grade, we had a surprise test of stories like literature. In that, all the students were asking, "Teacher, what does this word mean? Teacher, what does this word mean?" Only one question was being asked every time. And after a few days, we finished the whole book. And we again had the review of another chapter. And then I saw the paper and I was confused that what I forgot what this word means. What does it mean? So I stood and asked the teacher, "Teacher, what does this word mean?" And then she told, "This is a review. I cannot tell you anything." And then I remembered, it means this. And that's my tiny mic story. Thank you.
Okay. Wonderful. It means this. So that's the shrug, is it?
Yes, shrug.
Okay. Wonderful. I want to pick a different emotion and see if you can think of stories. I know Sridiya, Raghav, you have stories, but maybe let me see if we can think of a different emotion and think of a story. Okay. So I want you to think of a time when you were extremely surprised. Okay. Wait, surprise is similar to confused. So let's not do surprise. How about a time that you were extremely happy? Okay. So now, not a little bit of happy, okay? Not a little bit happy, like a lot of happy, like so much happiness that you don't know what to do with it. Okay. Okay, Sridhya, you go first, then the Raghav. Okay, your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go.
So, yesterday I was sitting in my couch. At that time, my mother came and said, Dear, we can watch a movie called Dragon. And yeah, sure. When we watched the movie, it's full of you know, a boy in college life. Then after I finished the movie, my mother said, Dear, come fast. We have to go to this um, called a play junction and that kids junction, and there was we had so much fun. After I came, my little sister asked my mom like, can we go to KFC? And finally we went to KFC and ate until I was like satisfied. Then we came back home and slept peacefully after the long dinner we had. And that's my tiny mix story.
Okay, wonderful. Raghav, I saw your hand up. You have a story as well. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
At, at grade 1, I was called for a inter-school storytelling competition, and so I decided to go. And that day I went to the Gateway School and I started speaking. As soon it was the prize distribution, I was waiting. Will they call my name? Will they call my name? I was waiting for a very long time, but suddenly I was happy to hear my name on stage, and I got a trophy, first prize. I was very happy that was my first trophy ever, and that's
You sort of started your story, and then at the end you were like, and that's done, as if you almost were thinking of it. Okay, well done. For everybody listening in, whether you're a adult or a child, this is a very simple way for you to start thinking of interesting memories, interesting moments from your life also. I saw in the comments, Advik was very happy when his grandmother came with a gift on his birthday. I see that when Swati is saying, oh, when my little sister was born, I was very happy. True. So there's all kinds of different things that make us feel some emotion. And whenever an emotion is really strong, whether it's happiness, sadness, confusion, exhaustion, anything, there's a story there. So, yesterday we said you go through everyday life and say, could this be a story? Could this be a story? Could this be a story? Similarly, what I want everyone to do now is every time you feel something that's really strong, I want you to say, oh, that's a strong emotion. Maybe this story I can tell later to my parents or to anyone else. So now is the time for everyone listening to tell a story to your parents or somebody else who's with you. Okay, everybody help me count so that we do this. You'll have 1 minute. Everybody at home, I am counting on you to tell a story. And the reason we have that 1 minute timer is so that you learn to tell your story in a short time. Okay, everybody ready? In three. People at home, everyone here also, mute yourselves. Aiza, mute yourself. Raghav, Sridhya, and Aman, mute yourself and see if you can share your story with your parent if they are next to you. Okay, your time. Everybody, you have to tell a story, and you could pick a different emotion. The story that you have in your mind, you could talk about that. Everybody at home, pick an emotion that you felt very strongly and think of a story, and then share it with your parent. Your time starts in 3 and 2 and 1 and go. Okay, so that's not a lot of time. So for some of you, you might not have completed your story. That's fine. Over time, if you don't complete a story once, you don't complete a story next time, you don't complete a story after that, you will slowly start realizing how to complete your story in 1 minute. So it will also help you become more what's called articulate, as in, how do I say something that I want in a limited amount of time? Now, I also want you to ask your parent to tell you a story. Okay, so everyone listening in here also, I want you to ask your parents to tell you a 1 minute story. Okay, and they will struggle sometimes. Okay, parents sometimes need your help, but that's okay. That's why you went first, and now they'll be able to tell you a story. Okay, so give them a strong emotion and ask them to tell you a story. Everybody do that. Ask your parents to tell you a story. Okay, strong
That's
emotion.
when both the that's when my father is working and my mother is having a shower, so I don't have any parents to talk to.
So what you do is this, okay? For everyone who's joining in by yourself, mute and Aman, you can mute and you tell me the story, but keep it on mute so that it doesn't disturb everybody else who are also telling a story. Okay, so Aman, mute and you can just tell me the story. I will hear it. I mean, I will see you. So I'll just see how you're telling it. Okay, ready? Everybody, ask your parents to tell you a story. Your time starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, go. Okay. That's your time. Now, tell me this, Aiza, Sridiya, Raghav, Aman. Is it fun to also listen to stories from your parents? Yes, right? For everyone listening, we do different activities like these. Recently, we did an activity where we asked the kids to go and ask the parents to tell them a story from their childhood, from the parents' childhood that they haven't yet told them. How many of you did it here? Aiza, Sridiya, Aman, Raghav. Okay, the two of you did it. Okay. Aman and Raghav, if you've not done it, you have to do it. Ask your parents to tell you a story from their childhood that they have not told you yet. And again, you'll have to help them a little bit. You'll have to keep asking questions. You'll have to keep helping them zoom in, like we learned yesterday. You'll have to keep telling them about the emotion wheel. And that's how they will come up with these stories. For
So that's
everyone listening, yes, Aman?
telling two stories on my parents' favorite things since they were young.
Yes. Okay. So for everyone listening in, here's what I will leave you with. Whether you're an adult or a child, whether you are a child or somebody who has been a child, stories about your life are a great tool to learn a lot of different skills. You can learn how to be more confident as you keep telling stories. You learn how to observe the world, develop creativity as you keep finding things in your everyday life to tell stories about. You will develop emotional intelligence because you will start trying to articulate emotions that you're feeling. You will also develop connection because story is such a beautiful activity that you can't do it alone. You're doing it with somebody. So when you as a child share a story to the parent really likes it because they're getting to know some part of your life. When the parent tells a story to you, that's also beautiful. So I want everybody, my invitation for everyone is just this. Like your parents do yoga every day, and you've been doing yoga every day with Kashish ma'am here, I was like, what? My mom doesn't do it. But like many people who are listening in, they're a part of Habuild and they do yoga every day with Saurav. So Aiza, if your mother doesn't do it, you have to ask her to join. There is like a 14-day free session that is coming up in June. So everybody, you should ask
She
your parents.
does Zumba.
Okay, so you can ask your parents to just do the 14-day free session with Saurabh, with Habuild. And there are so many people who love it so much that they've been doing it for hundreds of days. So just like you do yoga every day, I would like everyone to also tell a 1 minute story, what I call the tiny mic story, every day. A story that's not made up, a story about your own life, about things you see, things you feel. Okay, with that said, this is the end of the session. I hope you told a story. I hope you heard a story. And I hope you keep telling a story. So at the end, if you want, you can record one of these stories and send it to me. I would love to see your stories. Okay, with that said, everybody give a big round of applause to the kids who helped us understand this tool. Everybody give a round of applause for Sridhya, for Aiza, for Aman, yes, and for Raghav. Well done, everybody. And back to you, Yamini.
Amazing stories and amazing emotions. Sridhya, Raghav, Aman, and Aiza. Aiza is also very expressive. I love that about her. So, thank you so much, kids, for sharing your stories with us. We will see you on Tuesday for yoga, and we want you to upload all your stories in the link. So we have our Facebook group, which is the first link on the top from where we showed you stories today. And then you can see Sudarshan's Instagram, which is Tiny Mike Story, and you can tag him. And then there's Habuild's Instagram story and Bothra's, which is Saurabh Sir's Instagram story. Now, what if you're not on Facebook or Instagram? There is one more link. See, not on social media. Submit your stories here, and you can submit your stories there. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. Thank you so much, Sudarshan. And we will meet Sudarshan again on 28th of May. Till then, bye bye. Have a great Sunday. Tomorrow is chutti, and we will see you Tuesday for yoga. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good day ahead.
Bye bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Sudarshan.
Yo, Yamini and team.